The Type 3 Diabetes Masterclass. The Great Misunderstanding. For decades, we have been told that cognitive decline, losing our memory, our sharpness, our ability to focus as we get older, is just a matter of bad luck, genetics, or the unavoidable accumulation of plaques in the brain. But what if we've been looking at the problem completely backward? What if the brain fog you are experiencing right now isn't a brain aging problem, but an energy problem? What if your brain cells aren't simply dying off, but actively starving to death? Welcome back to Health and Well-Being. And today, we are going to explore one of the most paradigm-shifting discoveries in modern neurology, a condition that researchers are increasingly referring to as type 3 diabetes. Over the next 25 minutes, I'm going to give you a clinical masterclass on what brain insulin resistance is, why it starts quietly in our 50s and 60s, and the exact evidence-based protocols you can use to bypass this roadblock and turn your brain's power grid back on. Let's get to the root of the problem. The brain's energy grid and insulin. To understand type 3 diabetes, we first have to understand how your brain eats. Your brain represents only about 2% of your total body weight, but it is an absolute energy hog. It consumes 20% of all the fuel your body uses every single day. For most of us, that fuel is glucose or blood sugar. But glucose cannot just waltz into a brain cell on its own. It needs a key to unlock the door. That key is the hormone insulin. When we are young, those locks are sensitive and responsive. But as we age, especially if we have lived a lifestyle high in refined carbohydrates, chronic stress, and poor sleep, those locks get rusty. The brain cells stop responding to insulin. This is brain insulin resistance. You can have perfectly normal blood sugar levels on your routine physical lab work, but inside your central nervous system, the insulin isn't working. The glucose cannot get inside the neuron, and when a neuron cannot get fuel, it panics. The rolling blackout and the plaque defense. What happens when a brain cell panics? Recent research from 2025 and 2026 shows us that this energy crisis is actually the first domino to fall in neurodegeneration, long before Alzheimer's symptoms appear. When your neurons are starving, they undergo a stress response. They stop communicating efficiently, which you experience as brain fog, or walking into a room and forgetting why you are there. Over time, to protect themselves from this metabolic stress, the brain cells start producing amyloid beta proteins. Yes, the exact same plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. For years, modern medicine tried to develop drugs to simply scrub those plaques away, but many of those trials failed to improve memory. Why? Because the plaque wasn't the root cause. The plaque is a scar tissue. The root cause is the metabolic fire. The root cause is that the brain is starving for energy because of insulin resistance. The rescue protocol, bypassing the blockade. So, if the glucose door is jammed because of insulin resistance, how do we get fuel into a starving brain? We use the back door. We use an alternative fuel source that does not require insulin to enter the brain cell. We use ketones. Here is the evidence-based protocol to restore your brain's energy. Number 1, metabolic flexibility via low glycemic nutrition. We have to stop flooding the system with sugar. The Mediterranean-style diet is the gold standard here. By dramatically reducing refined carbohydrates and increasing healthy fats, like avocados, extra virgin olive oil, and wild-caught fish, you lower the systemic demand for insulin, allowing those brain receptors time to resensitize. Number 2, harnessing exogenous ketones and MCTs. Medium-chain triglyceride, or MCTs, are a unique type of fat found in coconut oil. When you consume MCT oil, your liver rapidly converts it into ketones. Ketones can cross the blood-brain barrier and enter your starving neurons without needing insulin. It is essentially an alternative, high-octane fuel that immediately powers up failing brain cells. Number 3, aerobic exercise as a neurosensitizer. A groundbreaking 2026 clinical study demonstrated that just a single bout of aerobic exercise increases specific insulin-signaling biomarkers in the brain. When you engage in brisk walking, swimming, or cycling, your muscles pull sugar out of blood, which instantly lowers insulin levels. More importantly, it triggers a release of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which acts like miracle grow for your neurons, forcing them to build new, healthy connections. The medical horizon and testing. The medical community is finally shifting its focus. We are currently seeing the development of simple blood tests that can detect epigenetic biomarkers for brain insulin resistance years before cognitive decline begins. If you are over 60 and noticing a change in your memory, do not just accept it as getting old. Talk to your physician about checking your fasting insulin levels, your HbA1c, and your inflammatory markers. Measure your metabolic health to protect your cognitive health. Conclusion and outro. Your brain is the most complex, beautiful structure in the known universe, but it is governed by the same biological laws of supply and demand as the rest of your body. By keeping your insulin low and giving your brain the right kind of fuel, you can turn the lights back on and keep them burning bright for decades to come. If you found this masterclass helpful, please like the video, subscribe to Health and Wellbeing, and share this with someone you love. I have linked the latest 2025 and 2026 peer-reviewed clinical trials on brain insulin resistance in the description below, so you can read the science for yourself. Until next time, stay informed and stay healthy.